I don't know much else. Let's go burn one, come back in there, and
Don't tell me everything.
that I can remember. Emily can get, she's so headstrong, and she's bigger than any other girl I've been with, and a lot stronger.
Emily Lambert is a buxom beauty from Dallas, Texas. She's 30 years old and has two gorgeous little girls that she brings up along with her ex-husband, who stays on the same street to be close to the girls and help as much as possible. They're what you might call the perfect exes. In November of 2013, Emily meets a guy through Facebook, Robert Early. They were from the same town, went to the same school, but hadn't known each other. Robert's a few years older at 33, so had never crossed paths until now. They agree to meet up at a local bonfire and immediately click, and for the next 4 months are pretty much inseparable. Robert works in an oil field out in Carlsbad, New Mexico. In 2014, on the weekend of the 1st of March, Emily goes to visit Robert, and they check in to room 402 at the Stevens Inn Hotel. They go sightseeing that day and stop off at a few watering holes on their travels. That night, they go to the Blue Cactus Bar. There, they're seen having a good time, dancing, playing pool, enjoying each other's company. Later though, witnesses notice the pair arguing. Robert is seen grabbing Emily aggressively by the back of the neck and pointing in her face. At 11:30, CCTV will capture Emily leave the bar, followed by Robert 20 minutes later. At midnight, they're heard by fellow guests at the hotel fighting. Then all goes quiet. The following day, Robert messages Emily's parents and asks if they can call him, to which they do straight away. He tells them that he and Emily had a fight last night and she hasn't returned to the hotel. They tell Robert to call the police right away. He does.
Carlsbad 911, what is your emergency?
Yes, my girlfriend left last night and she hasn't made it back to the hotel.
What is your name?
It's Robert Early. I mean, I've talked to her parents, to her ex-husband. Nobody's heard from her, and she was pretty intoxicated.
And where are you at?
The Stevens Inn.
Let me go ahead and have an officer come see you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
The police ask Robert to come down to the station so they can gather more details of the previous night that will help build a timeline.
I met her in November, and we've pretty much been inseparable since. I mean, I moved in, like, really, I guess officially December. I mean, but it's, we pretty much, you know, her parents went out of town. We stayed at her parents' house. She stayed at my mom's house.
Okay, how old is she?
30.
Okay, how old are you?
33. Drove to Carlsbad, did the Carlsbad Cavern deal. She got her little passport book stamped. And then we went from there to Roswell. From Roswell, we went to a place called Tijuana's, and we had fajitas, and I had 2 margaritas, and she had 1. And then we went from there to a place called Farley's. You know, it was her last night in town. So we met up with my boss at the hotel bar, and just got pretty much obliterated from there. The dress was see-through completely. I mean, you'd have to probably really, in a darker bar like that, notice, and she had some gray hanging on. She was getting hit on by guys. She came back and said, hey, this guy said, if he's not taking care of you good, I'll take you home. Some strange dude. I'm like, whatever, you know, Emily, if that's what you want, go ahead and go. You know, she didn't get the response from me she wanted. Fuck you, then I'm leaving. I figured she's gonna go smoke. She's gonna blow off some steam. Should be cool. And so that's when I left. Right when I started thinking that.
How come she didn't take her phone?
Because it was dead and we only needed one. We were going together. We were at the hotel. When we walked over there, went back to the room with the key. She wasn't in there, and then I started pacing up and down and walking around, and I shut the door.
Oh, what time that was going on?
Maybe a little bit after 12, or maybe 11:40, something in between 12:20 and 11:40, something, I'm guessing.
So you're saying she left with someone?
And I didn't see her actually leave with somebody, but she was talking about some dude who was leaving, you know. She's not at the hotel. She's not in the room. Where the else was she gone?
You just don't seem the type of person to me that the girl comes up and says, "F you," and turns around and walks off and you let that happen. You don't strike me as that type, dude. You just don't.
I mean, I know her. Y'all don't.
Exactly. We talked to several people at the bar, and none of them see her leave with anybody.
You know, I'm sitting here in my mind, and I'm going to ask you this question. Because I follow missing persons report, and what's scaring me is I'm wondering why I'm being grilled so hard. Is everything okay?
Let me explain something. Okay. You're the last person that's seen her alive. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
I mean, hands down, you're the last person.
Was it noticeable that y'all had an argument?
I mean,
If someone was sitting at the table next to you all were in the area the day?
I mean, I kept it pretty much as discreet as I could.
Temporary. Fights. I mean,
I'm never in any fights. I mean,
you're gonna tell me that you don't have a violent temper.
I don't have.
You're gonna tell me that none of your friends are gonna tell me that you're violent.
None of my friends are gonna say I'm violent. I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna just sit there and, you know. But I've never been arrested for beating up somebody. I've never been on an
Just because
altercation.
you're not arrested for it doesn't mean that you don't do it. You know what I mean? I have talked to some people in Dallas that say you do have a violent past.
Who?
I'm not gonna tell you. What's your gut telling you right now?
Yesterday I was having really, really bad tingling feelings, and you know that I just hope she's okay. I mean,
I'm not asking you what you hope. That's what your gut feeling right now.
I mean, I honestly think that she got involved with some wrong people, and she's either hurt or trapped, or somebody's got her and not letting her go. And then that, I mean, otherwise, why would she be back?
Okay. Well, I mean, do you think she's dead?
I have no clue. I hope not. You know, that's the last thing I want for my girlfriend and a mother of two and a school teacher. You know, when I have a daughter, I mean, I couldn't imagine if I went missing, my daughter couldn't see me anymore, or her mom.
Even though CCTV and receipts corroborate Robert's version of events, police don't believe he's telling the full story and ask him to come in for a polygraph test.
Hey, Robert. You been willing to take a polygraph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd probably be about 10 a.m. in the morning.
nerves are shot
You know why you're here today?
because my girlfriend's missing.
Put your left arm out in front of you. Palm up. Emily Lambert is your girlfriend, the one that you were with Saturday night, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you intend to answer truthfully all questions regarding the location of Emily Lambert?
Yes.
Do you know where Emily Lambert is located?
No.
Do you know where Emily Lambert is located right now?
No.
And you didn't pass.
How?
It was asked 3 separate ways, and you didn't do well on any of the tests anytime I asked.
I want to take it again then.
Robert is now the prime suspect. Police question him again. He gives a different version of events.
You know where she's at?
I was so
Robert, hands down. Hands down.
I was hammered.
I understand that.
You're hammered, but something happened, right? We know that.
So we had an argument and she left, and that.
Your shoulders are pretty heavy, dude. Now you cross your arms, your shoulders are heavy. I'm telling you right now, they are.
You know, we got an argument and she left, and, you know, from the hotel. You know, I mean.
Then what?
I got in the car and tried to drive around and look for her, and
You found her.
no, I never did find her. I never did get to find her.
Really?
I know she went in a vehicle.
What was the vehicle?
It was a thing. It had monster tires with Rockstar wheels on it, white extended cab truck, and she was. I mean, it was the guy who she was talking to. Whoever she was talking to.
You know more than you're saying, because you just gave us more information. Whether it's true or not, I kind of think it's half-assed, okay? I'm not trying to be an ass to you, but we're dealing with life here, buddy. We're dealing with someone's life.
I know.
We're not here to hammer on you. We're here to get the truth so we can possibly do something to help her. This isn't our first time to deal with this.
And you deal with one of two kinds of people. One, something that accident happened, or two, you deal with a monster.
And I'm not a monster.
Uh-huh.
I said, I'm not a monster.
You're not a monster.
No.
Convince me of that right now, because, dude, you coming forward with that right there and then saying that, and you've been hiding it for 2 days, I have a problem with.
I've been dreading this whole time. I thought he'd bring her back or took her off, or something happened. I wasn't sticking around. It was big. I mean.
Okay. Start back when you were in the bar.
Dude pulls up. Emily gets in his ride. I just pulled out and went the way that I seen them pull out of the Stevens.
Which way did they go?
South?
When you went up?
I don't know the direction. Canal towards Walmart.
Okay.
Towards Walmart, south.
He pulls up into some sort of looking like housing little area or something, like a house or something. And by the time I get out, Emily barely had any clothes on, you know, and I pull up. We start, you know, beeping, and he comes running at me with a pipe. She jumps in front. Blah!
Where'd he hit her?
Right in the head. I mean, and I was like, good. You know, and he comes at me. I just got in the car and just burned out, you know. I waited it out because I didn't know what else to do. I've never been in this situation. I've seen movies and all the 48s and stuff. I mean, I'm guilt by association.
You show me where the house
Is
is.
it a crew cab?
Was she bleeding?
Looked like there was blood.
Emily's car is still parked outside room 402. Her bag is still on the passenger seat. Her cell phone is still in the room. Police find disturbing evidence in room 402. A hole in the wall from Robert's head from the fight they had, Emily's blood, and a rope. The police take Robert to the scene where he said he left Emily. He stays stood outside the police car smoking while detectives take a walk around an old farmhouse. On the way, they notice what looks like drag marks that will lead them almost right to Emily's lifeless body. They identify her by her tattoos. Going back to Robert to say she is dead, Robert acts all shocked, pretending he thought she would still be alive. He's taken back to the station.
All right, man. I know you haven't talked to me yet, okay? Like I said, my name's Alan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not here to cut deals. I can't make promises. I'm not authorized to do that. But the district attorney's office won't do anything either right now until after we talk to you and give you the opportunity to tell your side and tell the truth. I'm not married for a reason. It's because I'm back. All right, straight up. And it's because I've been in different relationships and stuff, man. So I know how it goes, and it can get real heated. You can get jealous. Jealousy is a powerful thing, man, especially when you're drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't, yeah.
Oh, man, I hear you. I'm not trying to put that up. I'm just giving instances and examples, okay? That's it. Okay, we're just talking.
Yeah.
So I understand how that stuff goes, man. I really do. I understand how, especially when you're drunk, you're like, you know, you get pissed. And obviously you were pissed that night. You were like, what the hell, you know?
Does the severity of the crime, is there, if I, you know, to not including myself in saying I'm saying anything, but from your standpoint, would I ever see my kid again?
In the middle of questioning, Robert asks to go for a cigarette break, after which he promises he'll tell them everything.
So you gotta understand something, Robert.
And I also want a cigarette.
Oh man, I've got you hooked up with cigarettes, yeah.
So
I smoke too, so
we'll just go smoke a cigarette. Thing, man, I'm tired of it, dude. God, I don't know much else. Let's go burn one, come back in there, and
you'll tell me everything.
Then I can remember. Emily can get, she's so headstrong, and she's bigger than any other girl I've been with, and a lot stronger. And she, after I mean, she was in the car and I did all that stuff, and I mean, I'll retell you it all when I come back here, but my steel toe.
You said you kicked her?
I kicked her with the steel toe. You know, which times when she was out, and I was like, oh, freaking out. I didn't know what to do.
Let's start from the beginning, man. And like, no, didn't know nothing, okay? No, know nothing.
We're arguing a little bit, you know, it wasn't nothing big. It really wasn't nothing big.
What was the argument about, man?
She said some dude said that if I didn't treat her right, he'd take her home. And I was like, whatever, you know, whatever. If that's what you want, you know, go ahead and leave. And then when she said, left, we're done, it's over, I'm leaving you, this and that. And I was like, really? And then she was wanting to drive. That's what started the whole altercation in the room. She wanted to drink and drive all the way back to Fort Worth. I said, no, you're not leaving. She started going crazy with me, and we started, you know, pushing around, and that's when she grabbed my arm and bit the hell out of me. And then swept me back, and I put my head against the wall. And that's when I got up and hit her. And then I kicked her. You know, a couple times, I just lost it. I mean,
Where did you kick her the first time?
I think in the mouth.
Okay.
I hit her in the side and kicked her in the mouth. She was still okay. She got up. And I was like, what? I was pretty shocked. You know, I was able to get her down, and I was shooting crazy. I was tripping out. I didn't know what was going on, you know. And then I kicked her again there.
Where did you kick her that time?
I think in the face.
Okay.
Pretty much all headshots.
Okay.
Just laying there like breathing, you know, like a weird breath, and I was
like she was knocked out?
Yeah, and I didn't know what to do, and so I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I just put her in the car and drove out there. So again, behind that guy's house, she came to, and then as she was coming at me, I grabbed that air pump, and I grabbed that and whacked her with it, and I whacked her with it a couple times.
How did you drag her back there, brother? I know it's probably a thing to think about, but I mean, did you grab her and drag her back, or did you wrap her with something and drag her back?
I wrapped her with something.
What did you wrap her with?
Rope.
A rope?
It was just a quick, like a slip, and then just threw it around the passenger door and shut the door.
Tied a rope around her neck, put the rope and jammed it in the door jamb of the car, and drug her body behind the car.
Robert Early is arrested for first-degree murder. In court, the defence will ask for the charge to be changed to second-degree murder, as Robert did not plan Emily's death, nor was he in any fit state, under the influence of alcohol, to know the consequences of his actions on the night. The trial goes ahead with the charges of first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and tampering with physical evidence. In May of 2015, Robert Early is found guilty on all 3 counts and handed a life sentence with no possibility of parole. When asked if he had anything to say, Robert said, "The guilt and pain I've had since the night has been a living nightmare. I would change places with Emily if I could." He then asked for forgiveness from Emily's parents. Still full of guilt and pain, Robert will appeal the guilty verdict under the grounds that his confession should be suppressed as it was unlawfully obtained. He was still drunk at the time after 4 days of drinking. Also, that the crime scene and autopsy photos were redundant and irrelevant, causing unfair prejudice to Robert. Police state that he didn't seem to be under the influence at all when being questioned. Bottom line, Robert will never see the light of day again. Emily's mother said that one of the hardest parts was hearing Emily's voice on the night of her death.
The hardest part for me during the trial was to find Robert pocketed his phone, and I guess it made a call to Emily's phone and recorded, I guess, what were her last words.
Never again get away from him.
It was hard. It was really hard.